Alright, look, this video is not a public video. This is a
fucking
call out to some random British
asshole
on YouTube. And, his name is like Jimmy, some long number, let me check. Jimmy31428. Yeah, you
cocksucker.
So anyway, Jimmy randomly goes and makes a battle with Latios, and it happens to have part of my moveset that I come up with. And I go and I tell him, why don't you just make your own movesets? And he goes on this whole thing about
intimidate
and how he's so much better than everyone else. Listen, Jimmy, no one ever did anything to you. Why do you just everybody's movesets and act like Smogon stole your precious Blaziken moveset? The Scar set's always been there, you just put choice specs on it. Listen! Quit! Worst intro ever, am I right? Anyways, I got a battle here against EchoPwns, and he leads with a high five, and I'm like, high five! And then I go to, I use that again, and if you don't get the reference, then you obviously don't watch like cheese poops. So anyway, he double hits, and he's like, why doesn't that break through sashes? That's just stupid. And I'm like, well, Quillfish is awesome. So I Toxic Spikes, because like, I didn't know what he's going to do. I thought he was just going to fake out anyway. And then he kills me with another double hit, which only hits once, so it kind of fails its name. So I bring out Nilens, which is, yeah. And he goes for a Meteor Mash, and yeah, Registeel doesn't take anything from it because Registeel Steel type. So since I'm Scarfed, I kind of switch out and I go to Latios, because Latios is Wind, and this is the set I came up with. Jimmy did not come up with the set. People act like he did, but he didn't. I don't care how many subs he has, it doesn't mean he came up with a set. Anyway, he set out the rocks and makes my Latios look pretty with rocks around it, and makes a babbling brook and garden, and then I get paralyzed. And so, I start psychotically pressing the shift button and bring up the sticky keys prompt on Echo's computer, and his computer freezes. So anyway, I get burned by my burn orb because the computer's overheating, and he really needed to switch it out. So anyways, epic banana reference, and I use Mist Ball on the nom 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 nom, and it gets a special attack lower, and that's what this thing is supposed to do. It's supposed to shift over burns to stuff, recover, and use Dragon Pulse and Mist Ball to help finish stalling things off. Because Mist Ball has that 50% chance of lowering special attack, and it actually sometimes works on like some certain movesets I know, like Charge Beam, 70% chance. Ha! So anyway, I get a burn, and I like go for a recover, and he gets a special defense drop like 2 times, and I'm just thinking the entire time, ugh. So he's pretty much hexing my Latios to death. And I go for another recover to see if I can outstall him, but unfortunately I won't be able to because the Shadow Ball is going to end up killing me eventually because of the stupid special defense drops. And the burn. Don't forget the burn. I don't get this. How could there be a 10% chance of that happening and then it happens twice? So I switch out, and I'm just going to use it for Death Fodder later, at least I thought I was going to. He goes for a Shadow Bomb and Metagross, and it's like, okay, whatever, I don't care. And then I go for a Meteor Mash, and I kill it off, and I get this attack raise, which is like, never happens. And I'm like thinking here, what the crap? Oh wait, I don't get these attack raise yet, that's next time. Anyways, his Rotom must have like Serene Grace or something. So I go for a Meteor Mash on the It Ain't Easy to Be Me, or something, I don't know. And I get the attack raise, which is, it never happens. And he gets a Heat Wave, and he gets a crit. I don't know if that mattered or not, probably didn't. And I die. Thank you, Heat Wave. And now it's hot outside, so I'll bring up my Frog, and the Frog wants to be wet and whatnot, but of course it can't happen because it's kind of dry out. And then he brings out Umezeus. Okay. And I bring out a sub because, I don't know why, the sun's out, and it's kind of hot and sticky. So he Thunderbolts, and it breaks the sub, but I get my belly drum off, and I'm like, yes, I'm going to be able to do somewhat of a sweep with this thing. And I put Endeavor on it for lols, but, yeah. Knowing that I'm going to die next turn, I decided to just Endeavor so I can kill this thing off next turn. So that's what I do. Although if I had Return, I probably would have killed it anyway. And this battle might have gone better. So he Thunderbolts me, and he's like, well, Endeavor kind of works too, I guess. And he gets hurt by his poison, and I'll be able to take him down next turn. So I go out to my Scyther, because Scyther is just way better than Scissor. And then he goes, I go for a Quick Attack, and I have to stay in anyways, because I have Life Orb, and I've already gotten half damage on my Stealth Rock, so if I came back in, I just die. So he comes in with this thing, and I'm like, well, I die anyway, so I'm just going to Quick Attack, because he thought I might have Sucker Punch, but he doesn't have Sucker Punch, because he's not a sucker. So, he has his Ambipom come out, and the Ambipom just gives me a high five, and I'm like, I wasn't ready for that. So he gets hurt by his poison, and I bring out my Chime Echo, which Chime Echo is the best thing ever. Not really, but it's cool. And he brings out his hacked Registeel, because it's shiny. And I go for a substitute, because that's just what this thing does. And I go for a Charge Beam. And, of course, I don't get the special attack raise. That would make sense. See, that's what I don't get. 70% chance? Really? Are you kidding me? It's not a 70% chance. It must be like a 20% chance, because that never happens to me. So I missed the Charge Beam the second time, and, seriously. So he breaks my sub finally with an Ice Punch, and he eats leftovers because that's just the cool thing to do. And now he wants to give me another high five, so I set up another substitute because I don't want a high five. I don't have any hands. Well, I have little nubs for hands, but you know. So he turns into a U and he breaks my sub, and I'm like, oh, that's not good. So he goes back to Echo, 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 Echo. It's a good thing I'm not doing the entire narration like that. So he goes out to an Armada, and I'm like, oh, come on, I've only got one sub, and you already broke it. So I try to get the light screen up because I don't know what this thing wants to do. And I go into my sub because I need to face off the Armada, but the Armada starts firing. And my sub breaks again. And I'm like, I need reinforcements, but I don't have any. All I've got is a Latios, and it's going to die when it comes into the stupid Stealth Rock. So I go for a Psychic, and it probably would have done a lot more if it had the freaking stupid attack raises from Charge Beam, but no. Anyways, my Chime Echo dies, and it has a more sensible nickname now. And now I bring out to Latios, and it dies to Stealth Rock. Bad game, Echo. So if any of you got that name and copy it down and go sub to him, so yeah, this has been the guy who was sitting, and you never catch me again. At least until my next battle.